At the dawn of time, single-celled creatures emerged from the primordial ooze to colonize the Earth. The fertile soil they found was beautiful, dangerous, and wild. However, it was also super lame because they didn't have the concept of numbers with which to rate things. Now, in the year of our spaghetti monster in the sky, 2025, two intrepid brothers have come forth to solve the world's problem. No longer will items go unrated. No longer will everyday objects escape the rule of numerical law. This is Review Everything.
Hello and welcome to Review Everything, the show with hotter numbers and even hotter takes. That we might not be able to steal that legally because of hot ones. Fuck it, Sean Evans, come on here, rate some hot sauces. Come get in with us. We'll shave our heads. If you get on here, we'll both shave our heads. Hunter's giving me the look like he's ready for it.
No, I lightning rated Sean and gave him a 0. He's never coming on this podcast. He's a bad.
I gave him a 10. So maybe if he comes on here, we can finally we can settle it. But this is Review Everything. This is the podcast where we put everything on the limitless spectrum of human existence on a numeric scale that is vastly, very quickly becoming just an absolute shit show and needs to be fixed. We are your hosts. I'm Ashton McCauley. I'm a writer and a data scientist. And who are you?
Hey, I'm Connor from work. I'm a juicy little grub, waggling my ass in front of the world, and the world is a bird, and I'm ready for it.
Nice. Can I get you to turn your levels up a tiny bit?
Oh. Do I need to do my grub thing again?
No, that's perfect. I think it'll be fine. Actually, maybe do your grub thing again. Let's get it again.
Hey, I'm Connor from work. I'm a juicy little grub waggling my ass in front of the world, and the world is a bird, and I'm ready for it.
Whoa, he's just ready to get pecked by a bird right in the bum.
Oh, I'm gonna just get swallowed. There won't be any. I am juicy. There's little watermarks squirting off me. That's how juicy I am.
I love it. It's moist. But look at it. We're back on our weekly grind. We recorded last week. We're recording this week again.
2 in a row.
I think this week we're doing things that are spooky. So that's interesting. Sorry. You hear that?
Yeah.
Somebody's at my door.
What's going on?
Be right back. One second.
Okay. Hey, do you think it's a bit? I think it's a bit. I think he's
We don't do solicitors here. I don't want any. The hell is a Hans burger? Hello. Review Everything. It's me, Hans Burger.
Hey, Hans. I'm Connor. Do you know me? Do you know me? What?
Do I know you?
Are you here?
I know of you. And I know of your lightning rankings. I hear we're talking things that are spooky this week. So I think it's time for Dr. Hans Burger's Spooky Lightning Round.
Quick you. I'm psyched about the lightning or the spooky lightning round. Okay.
It has a graphic.
Did you?
I made it myself.
It's very good. It's not even PNG. That I would expect.
Hold on, he's talking. Hey.
That was my Are you doing a murder?
Yes.
Of Ashton.
I am your new co-host, Hans Burger.
Is that like from Die Hard? But you're a puppet?
If you answer correctly,
you'll tell me?
I will bring your co-host back to life.
Do I get to choose? When we reach that road.
Well, let's see if we have chemistry. For the audience at home, can you describe me, Dr. Hans Burger?
Yeah, for sure. Is it okay if I call you a puppet? I think when I said that last time, it didn't go over well. Is that appropriate to call it?
I'm a puppet.
Okay, I didn't know if I could say it. Okay. Hans Burger is just a different puppet. This one is purple blue, big buggy eyes. It's got some wild Doc Brown hair, furry.
Oh, I love Doc Brown.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he's very good. Very, very good scientist.
Remember when he got in a fight with terrorists that had nuclear material?
Oh, yes, the Libyans.
Yeah.
It was the Libyans very specifically, which is a little odd.
Yeah.
When you think about it.
Okay.
That we just said, okay, the Libyans have nuclear. but Back to the Future's another pod.
They must have been a proxy for someone else. Or Libyans were just really exotic at that time.
Yeah, it seems right. I have things for you to rank.
Okay, let's fucking do it.
They are spooky.
Oh, well, isn't that for me to determine with my ranking?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, freaking power me up.
First up, it's warning. It's going to get spooky.
Okay.
Yes, spooky in August.
Are these tailored to me?
No.
Okay.
They're just the most spookiest things I could find.
In August.
In August.
Okay, these are August spooky things, not September.
First up.
Okay.
A very scary spider.
No, these guys are cute as heck. I'm into
It's very scary. Look at it.
No, lightning ranking 10. I look at it. It's furry, he or she.
The spookiest thing there is.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful spooky baby. I love it.
That's a 10.
I see. These guys have personalities. Have you seen the videos of these? Like, they don't live that long and then they die and they're like little pets. People love them.
Yes.
Okay.
Very spooky, a short lifespan.
10.
10. Next up, Casper.
Hey, we talked about this last time, and this is existential as fuck, because this was supposed to be a kid's movie, and the whole thing's about bringing a handsome little white boy back alive. Lightning ranking, 0. Casper is scary, and I think it's a sad movie about a dad trying to bring his son back to life, and I don't know what lesson they learned, because I sure as heck didn't learn it. I just remember it being sad.
Well, so far you're batting 100, so if you're lucky, we will be bringing a handsome white boy back to life today.
That white boy. Okay.
Moving on.
Pumpkins.
Pumpkins. Is it vegetable or fruit? Very spooky.
I'm gonna lightning.
Look at that pumpkin. Look at it. It's big, round, and orange.
Lightning. Is this for specifically spooky items? But I like pumpkins. 10. Lightning ranking 10. It's not the spookiest. 10. Am I ranking it on how spooky it is, or just?
I don't. Like he always makes you put things on a scale.
Yeah.
I'm sort of freewheeling. I don't know if you can feel that from my personality.
I'm into it.
Very freewheeling.
Hey, can you shoot him a couple more times?
Oh, you got it, buddy.
Nice. Boom, 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 boom. Ashton sucks.
Yeah, he does. He's the worst.
This is fun. Yeah, Hans Burger.
This is the new podcast.
I like it. I feel free. All right.
Yes, me too. This is great. This is good for me. Better than what I do with my day job.
Hey, Hans, do you have a take on pumpkin pie? Pro?
I'm very pro because it's messy and I like mess. In my work, when you're disassembling corpses and putting them back together, you make a good mess.
I thought you were a German businessman. Like imports, exports of organs.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Stitches are getting imported. And yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Next item, Hans.
Do you want to know a quick secret?
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
I sell organs to Joe Rogan. That's how we got so big.
Is he just putting more of them in there?
Yeah.
Hey, Hans.
Yeah, you can't cultivate mass if you don't put more mass in.
Oh, that's a hack. It's like a BBL, but with like scarier bodies. Okay.
Oh, next.
Okay.
The Rocky Horror Picture Show. So spooky.
Lightning ranking 0, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I went one time to a Rocky Horror Picture Show, and everyone knew the words and the songs, and I didn't, and they threw things everywhere, and it was real messy. And as much as I feel like the theater staff at the college enjoyed the energy, I also knew they had to clean all that stuff up. And so on the messiness scale, it gets a 0, and that's all you get today.
That's correct.
Oh, wow.
Finally, me.
Spooky. Yeah, 10. Lightning
yes,
ranking 10.
I'm a 10.
Shoot, do some more bullets.
I will say this is gonna make it harder to bring him back, but that's all we have. That's all we have for Hans Burger's spooky lightning rankings today.
Hans Burger, as much as you don't have blue hair, but you're a blue boy with hair. But I think all this gun stuff that you bring to it, you're going to help bring in new audiences. Because I think the Venn diagram of people with guns, they don't like this podcast very much because sometimes I talk about the real world.
Not enough guns on this podcast.
Boom, 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 boom. Your hobby's silly. Remember when we got rid of lawn darts? I think we could do the same thing with guns. It doesn't seem that complicated to me.
I used to get a lot more free organs when we had lawn darts.
Yeah, I bet you did.
All right, do you want me to bring him back?
Are you?
I can. He's bleeding a lot. He's bleeding a lot.
Patch him up, get him in here. Tell him he has to have a good attitude, and shoot him one more time before you bring him back.
Hey, listen.
Shoot him.
This is from your friend Connor.
Oh, man.
Bye.
Bye, Hans. Ooh.
Fuck just happened there?
Do you know what I like the best about Hans? He isn't so tall in the video frame.
I feel like I just got shot by a fucked up puppet.
Oh,
A lot.
I asked him to shoot you
I
more.
feel like he kind of, we should start the show and move past it.
I thought
that was a lot for me. I'm just gonna have some of my CBD soda and try and calm down. That was a lot. So we're doing things that are spooky. Do you want to kick us off, or you want to go second?
Hans told me that we were moving into a segment on the Second Amendment, pros and cons kind of situation.
That explains. He did come to the door, and he just had this big briefcase full of guns.
Yeah, I could tell.
And he asked me if I wanted to buy any, and I said, "Of course, I'm interested. I love guns.
Mm-hmm.
It's my favorite hobby." And then he said, "Would you like a sample?" And I said, "Sure." And then he shot me.
You didn't specify what you wanted.
Crumbles, I guess.
I think since you just died, you should probably go first.
Yeah, that's fair. I should get back into this. So things that are spooky. I want to talk about a little place called Scream at the Beach. And when you think about Scream at the Beach, you might be thinking like this took place in a beach town or something to that effect. And the answer is no. This took place in Jansen Beach, Portland, which is the best way I can describe it is a strip mall of big box stores that's right on the Portland Vancouver border. So that you can go there and buy stuff tax free.
There's a beach though, or is it just called beach?
I mean, there's probably there's a river there, so you might think that there is a beach somewhere, but trust me that you do not want to swim there. That used to be the really industrial area of the river.
Okay,
it was pretty gnarly.
Okay,
but as a kid, haunted houses were a really big deal for me. So I love them. I love the immersive theming. We kind of talked about this in the Enchanted Forest episode. That haunted house at Enchanted Forest is really my thing. And Scream of the Beach was the cream of the crop as far as haunted houses went. Especially there was this place called the Institute of Terror that was around for 3 or 4 years that would get all this radio play, and the DJs would go to the haunted house and do live theater, basically going through it on the radio.
Yeah.
And my mom and I actually won tickets one time and got to go through the haunted house with the DJs at the Institute of Terror.
With Boner and Ham from 102.3?
It was with 105.1 The Buzz for those who are Portland natives.
I was a boner head. The ham I could...
You were
The ham I could give her...
But, so, the Institute of Terror was a 2-story haunted house.
Okay.
Amazing. And when it stopped, I was like, shit, where am I going to go? And then I found this place called Scream at the Beach. And this basically occupied an area of big box stores that repeatedly went out of business. So in this business park, they had every big box store you can imagine, and they were kind of constantly cycling out because they weren't making enough money to stay in operation. This was like
a Big Lots, BJ's, you got stuff like that. Maybe one of those, the dog food ones.
There legitimately might have been a BJ's Pizza in the parking lot, but there was Circuit City, video only, Babies R Us, Best Buy.
I fucking hate Babies R Us. I had totally forgot they existed. Fuck Babies R Us. Fuck babies. I hated the colors of that place. I had to go into it one time. Okay.
Oh yeah, I hated it. But Babies R Us, good news. So when it closed down, those stores, they're huge.
It turned into the Institute for Screams.
Well, it turned into Scream at the Beach, yeah. And what Scream at the Beach was 4 haunted houses. So it was 4 haunted houses run by the same people, and each one had a different, really well thought out theme. And you would wait for hours in line. We're talking 2 hours for each house. So you would go for an entire night if you went on the weekend, or you could go during the week, like my dad and I did, and we would go early and we'd get through them. So one night when I was 14, I was waiting in line for this place to open. My dad and I were chatting with the security guard. I was talking about how much I love Scream at the Beach, and how somehow we talked about how I was doing improv and I was in plays and shit, because that used to be my shit. Like I thought I was going to be an actor for a long time.
You did improv?
Oh yeah, I do. You know me. I find ways to do improv everywhere. I fucking love
know.
Improv.
I didn't know you ever did it as a kid though. That's cool.
Yeah, it was super fun. But so sometimes we're talking to the security guard about this stuff, and I shit you not, 60 minutes later, I was in full zombie prosthetic and working there. Like he brought me back, and he's like, hey, he told my dad, he's like, hey, you can come back and go through the haunted house later for free, and then pick him up at the end of the night.
This was a security guard had the power to turn a kid into an employee.
Yeah, because so it was all volunteer. It was all volunteer, and all the like proceeds benefited the Red Cross. So like nobody got paid. People just did it because they wanted to.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how shitty the Red Cross is, but like whatever. Like it was charity. And so I went in there. I remember it was this big latex zombie head that zipped in the back, and then they put me in like a Hawaiian shirt and shorts to look like an old man who had become a zombie, and then they just had me walk around line and terrorize people, and like. I had the fucking time of my life.
Well, do you remember what you would?
Yeah, like that night. So I was like that season. I was a walk around character, which just is somebody who goes around terrorizes people online, and I was a different character almost every night. But like that time, I like would limp around and like lunge at people. But it was like a really restrictive head, and it was so fucking hot. Like the only way you could drink was like through a straw, and like teenage zits were everywhere afterwards because they had to like spirit gum it to your face.
Oh.
But after that night, I worked every single night in October and early September from when I was 14 until I graduated high school.
Holy hell.
And then like as the years went on, I even helped them like in the early months leading up to it, we would build the haunted houses from scratch, which was really fucking cool. Like there was one year where we legitimately built a pirate ship inside of an abandoned Circuit City. And so there was a pirate themed haunted house and like an Indiana Jones temple themed haunted house. And like in the Indiana Jones temple one, we built this wall where people would be behind it and they would all push the wall of spikes toward the guests. And you had like little peepholes so you could see like when to stop. They had one that was like alien themed that had like a simulator ish in it. And then like people dressed as aliens would pop through the ceiling, like really high production value. And like there was an award system. At the end of the night, like they would hand out Monster of the Night, which I got frequently, which sated my need for like reassurance from authority figures.
Yeah.
We would also count the number of people that said they wet their pants as a metric for how good we were doing. And I think it was my first instance of having a KPI.
Wait, hold on a second. That KPI is so clear. It is so actionable. I have never seen anything
in corporate clear. It's probably yellow, but
I have never seen anything in corporate America that brought me as much fun as a goal like that. My God.
Yeah, it was a very clear goal.
Did you ever make a child pee and you visibly saw pee?
Yeah, absolutely. Like these haunted houses were also scary. So we had that, and then like I think like the metric got inflated, right? Because people wanted to say they made people pee their pants, but it was very fun. And they would ask you at the end of the night, like, how many wet pants you got? And then they'd put it up on the website. What? It counted for my high school community service, which was pretty cool. So like I didn't have to do community service because it was donated to the Red Cross, and like I got to write my whole paper about it. Awesome. But there was also like a little bit of darkness. And the darkness is like this was a bunch of teens being let loose in the dark together.
Okay.
To, just hang out every night until like midnight. So there was a lot of hooking up that happened. But there was also a lot of adults that were in there too, and I can't say for sure that sketchy shit happened between the adults and the kids.
Oh no!
There was not a lot of supervision, and it would have, like in hindsight, very sketchy. Other kind of spooky stuff. One of the young actresses I worked with, she died, not at the haunted house, but like we were like not really close friends, but we were friends at the haunted house. And they said that she haunted the place every year after that. And they were like, specifically this area where the old makeup room used to be. And I worked in that area one night, and like, she was like, yeah, so you might see stuff moving because she likes to play. And she just goes and plays with stuff in there. So extra creepy. Older guy, friend of mine, he was about 6'5", and he was like the guy who played the killer clown.
Okay,
and,
of course.
Like taught everybody else how to play clowns. One night he popped out of a box, got clocked by a guest, and had to go to the hospital. He started having seizures after that and was not able to ever come back and work at the haunted house again.
From that punch?
From that punch. He got hit really bad in the temple.
Did you ever get assaulted?
No. I feel like I got close a few times, but I kept my distance from people. And then, the last thing was one time, had like The Hills Have Eyes came out one of those years, and so we did like a Hills Have Eyes thing, and I was working with these hillbilly actors, and I thought this dude was wearing a prosthetic beer gut. And so I poked it, and it was not a prosthetic beer gut. It was his actual beer gut. Yeah, it was lying. So I'll give you kind of like, actually, I'll now, if you have questions, and then I'll go into my rating system here on this one.
Yeah, this seems wild that this existed, that you were allowed to do it at multiple levels, whether it be your parental guardians, whether it be some sort of state or city actors. This doesn't feel real to me. This feels like a teen movie thing, but I guess the West Coast is just going to West Coast, because I did not have experiences like this, man.
It doesn't exist anymore. I'll tell you that much. Like, I would work from probably 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. on weeknights, and then on weekends I would work maybe like 2 or 3 p.m. to 1 a.m. because they would run it until the line was gone, and the lines would get like so long. So like even if it closed at midnight, they'd have to run out the line, and then they would let the cast go through the haunts afterward too. So like you would be there a long time. So I just didn't sleep in the month of October and failed most of my classes. One more crazy thing. So there was a rivalry between the owners of this haunted house and another haunted house in the Portland area, to the point where like they would disguise themselves to go through the other haunted house and
mess with it
and get information, and like they would get kicked out. But it was because like I remember the guy's name too.
Slugworth.
Before I worked there was a haunted house that was reoccurring every year called Baron von Zulu's House of Horrors. It was always clowns.
Okay.
Baron von Gulu. Baron von Gulu. Baron von Gulu was apparently a trademark of one specific dude who split off from the people at Scream at the Beach because they had a feud. And so he went and formed his own.
Why is it always the dumbest businesses that like end up like weird sandwich places where brothers won't talk to each other? Chicago pizza. These aren't serious things. You don't have to start a feud. You can work together.
Yeah. It was crazy and just a weird time. And like, it's one of those things where I looked for pictures because I thought I could share some, and I didn't find any. Like, I could not find pictures of Scream at the Beach. I found a couple of reviews from like 2004, but I didn't find any pictures. So I don't know, like
2004. Did you have an old cell phone that's like sitting in a box that has photos in it?
No, I didn't save my cell phones because I destroyed almost all of them accidentally. Like they would go through the washing machine or something like that because of
dumbass
ADHD.
kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have any relationships at the Spook Town?
It was like literally the only time I was able to get into relationships was through this place for the first 3 years of high school. I was like not a popular kid, but at the haunted house, I was a popular kid.
Okay.
It was great. Okay, rating, sketchiness. This was definitely pretty sketchy.
Yeah.
A bunch of older dudes let a bunch of teens and adults run around in the dark together. I got pulled out of line by an older guy who he was very cool, very like mentor-like figure, great guy. But like looking back at it, like real sketchy, especially for the young women. Fun. One of the biggest funs that I had.
Sounds amazing.
I love doing it, putting on costumes, making up characters. That's fucking awesome. And doing it every night. Like, if I had the opportunity to do that instead of work right now, I would do it in a heartbeat. That sounds amazing. Like, Prestige, for a very brief time, I felt like a rock star in this group. When I went back to the haunted house, so I started college and I couldn't do it that year. I came back to go through the haunted house. I was pulled out of line by security with everybody I brought with me, given free VIP passes, and then like brought to the front of the line.
Did you have a cool name?
No, it was just me. But like everybody recognized me because I had been there so much, and it was really cool. So I would go back every year until it shut down and get the fun treatment. Creepiness. There was some creepy folks. There was some fucked up shit that happened there or around there. So definitely creepy. 7 out of 10. Really fun. Very creepy. Still kind of miss it.
That's a wild Pacific Coast, like high school movie that doesn't feel real. I'm here for it. I love the idea that you had this experience and it was mostly good. It helps that it was in the dark. And so, like, if anything, I want to push this one up. What did you give it? An 8? A 7?
A 7. I gave it a 7. I didn't want to go too high.
What's the category?
Life experiences.
I think this is a pretty peak life experience, man. What are?
Yeah, it's true. There's like, I have no real negative memory of it, other than like it might have been creepy and I wouldn't have realized.
But you didn't see that, so man.
All right, what do you want to bring it up to? Okay,
869. Since you did
8.69. Nice, yeah.
You got the spooky number 8 because it's 2 heads on top of each other, and then the 69 for the sexy stuff.
Screw the Beach life experiences 8.69. I'm gonna say really fun. maybe creepy in hindsight. Got to wear zombie head. Got to get zombie head. You know what I mean? All right, and we stop sharing.
Zombie head.
Yeah. What's your first item?
My first item is I bring to the table liminal spaces. I summon a liminal space. Do you know what liminal space is? We talked about it one time, or maybe I talked to you about it. But do you get the vibe of it?
Explain it to me a little bit deeper, because I think I kind of get the idea of like it's a space that only exists sometimes. Did you see the movie I Saw the TV Glow?
Oh no.
It feels kind of like that from how it's been described to me.
Okay.
That's a great A24 film that's very fucking weird with a banger soundtrack. But tell me about liminal spaces.
Okay, so the definition via Gemini, liminal space refers to a transitional period or space, often one of uncertainty and ambiguity that exists between one defined state and another. It can be a physical space, a psychological state, or a virtual space, characterized by the feeling of being in between. So the first time I heard about these type of spaces with this language is, I think we've probably at some point hit in the podcasts around ADHD dissociation, or maybe back during the pandemic and work ended, I'd go put a pillow in my head and just put on a very scary podcast with deep voices. So along that path, I got into paranormal things, or things that there's a podcast called The Other Side, which is just kind of things that aren't understood or told by the people that it happened to. And the one story that always pops into my head is this. It's a very basic afternoon. This guy is grabbing some medicine for his baby, and it's like 2 a.m. in the morning, and he runs to some sort of CVS in the middle of the city. And he gets in there. It's already so that in itself, especially for me, one of the places where I kind of feel it is if you go into a gas station late at night, where it's like, why is this thing here? Like, is there really a need for this big building to be on to serve a singular person at 3 a.m.? And so as the story goes, he's in this place, he turns a corner, and all of a sudden the lighting's a little bit different. The smell's a little bit different. There's no longer people visible in the outside. And he just is afraid he had a stroke, or he's lost his mind. And he's in there for about 45 seconds, and then something flips back and the lights soften back and the people show up again. But there's a lot of things that I listen that have aspects of that. So whether it's glitches, often called like glitches in the Matrix, and I don't want to talk about any red pill stuff, but it just feels like I do believe, and I, as a skeptic, and something that sounds silly, I think there are weak points in this universe, our universe, whatever's happening, whether it's a computer running it, whatever it is, and sometimes things don't work well, or sometimes energy is conserved. So for me, I think that I get this biggest feeling, and the thing that really causes existential dread are these places that feel like they're only there when they need to be. That it's not worth the compute. If we're in a simulation, it's not worth God's energy, whatever it is that you believe in existence. But there are things that we don't understand, and there are places that kind of pop in when we need them, and then they disappear when we don't need them, and they make you feel weird. So I brought up the couple from popular media, or like not popular media, Connor's media, that I think hit these.
That is popular media. You're a tastemaker.
Okay,
like own it.
So
honor the tastemaker.
The first taste maker thing I'm going to bring you, which we've talked about because it is one of these existential things that have stuck in my head, is the Langoliers. But specifically, and you haven't seen the TV movie, right? You need to see this fucking movie, okay? But
I've seen the one that was on Nightmares and Dreamscapes. We've talked about this. I don't know if that's the one or not.
I thought you only read the book. I think there's only one movie. But anyways, Langoliers, these people are in a plane. They wake up, and most of the people in the plane are gone, and they land in an airport where no one's there. It's just empty. You come to find out that they are in an in-between space where time is going to get eaten. And so the Langoliers are big meatball creatures that come and eat time. So this is very much like the definition of a liminal space. It is only there, and humans are generally not there. It is a place that exists to get eaten so the world can move on, like time can move on. Did you watch the Umbrella Academy?
Yeah.
Okay, so Hotel Oblivion, I think, is another, actually, like by definition, temporal kind of temporary place that has a point in time. But the visuals in that, it hit me. It like, I feel uncomfortable at the hotel. It shouldn't be there. It's always empty. To me, that's a kind of a perfect liminal space. And then also, are you afraid of the dark kid, or was that?
Yep. Yep.
There's
and scary stories. There's another one that's like in the same vein.
It's in the dark.
Yeah.
Are there any episodes that you remember that bring that feeling of a liminal space?
No, because I was like 9.
Okay.
But it's so funny that you're bringing that up because that we're talking about. I saw the TV Glow where there's like a series you saw as a kid that you're not sure if it was real or not. That like comes a little bit into the real world. That is that movie.
Oh man, I have a perfect creepypasta that I want to share with you that hits that, but we'll put that in.
This is good.
There's one episode that everything that I'm bringing to you, this is the shit that lives rent free in my head. Like it created an attachment, like something latched in, and I can feel these, like that feeling when I just think about these things. But the episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark? I think what happens, a kid's in a kooky joke shop and buys some kooky ass glasses, and whenever he puts them on, he sees kind of a different reality. Everyone in this reality is wearing not latex, but like bodysuits, like black bodysuits. Bodysuits freak me out, man. There's something, and we'll talk about it in my next category. There's something about bodysuits that make me very, very uncomfortable. But the kid accidentally, I believe the episode ends, and whatever he did, he wore the glasses too long or something, and he's just stuck in this space now. And so,
is he just trying to like perv on the bodysuit people?
Well, you couldn't see anything because everything was covered. Because they're in bodysuits. But I think maybe he was hoping to jay it off a little and maybe see a bodysuit boob or something. But it was a kid. They didn't show that part. They didn't show him jaying it off at all. But what happened is he got stuck in the universe. And to me, that isn't quite liminal, but it's terrifying, the idea that like the glasses were kind of liminal because he had a glimpse of it and then he did it too much. And then all of a sudden he's stuck in this bodysuit world. I don't care for that at all.
That's just like jaying off.
Yeah.
You do it a little too much and you get stuck in there. You never leave.
That's why my face is that face. So yeah, it's one of the things that I think as I get older, if you were to tell me as someone who thinks of themselves as a person who's logical, I've kind of fell into this weird category of like, I like mysticism and I love the idea that there is some shit we don't understand. And this is one that makes me feel uncomfortable and I can conjure it whenever I want. And yeah. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, have you read John Dies at the End?
No.
That's another recommendation for you that the thing gets into liminal spaces and like just the weirdness of like, there's a dark world that is like right next to our world. It's sort of like almost like the Upside Down in Stranger Things where it starts leaking in.
Yeah.
Very good, very funny, amazing book. But it's interesting because we just talked about this. You and I were at basically a cabin in the woods.
Adult summer camp.
The adult summer camp. And we talked about, this ties into your theory about ghosts a little bit too, the one that resonates with you. And you want to tell the listener a little bit about that, like the grandpa and the TV thing?
Yeah, so I think there's a version of ghosts, whatever you want to call it, where it's essentially the trauma of the death or maybe just physical space, electromagnetism, I don't know. But essentially, when you have a ghost, it is someone one universe over that's very close to yours, and that person's still alive, and they're just doing their shit. And so, like, one of the ghost stories I heard fairly recently, oftentimes when you hear about ghosts, you hear about repetitive motions, cabinets opening, TVs turning on. Just think of it as, like, Dad 4 is one universe over, and he just, like, got off work, and he turned the TV on. He's not trying to spook you. He's just going about his shit, and
just living his life.
For whatever reason, it crosses over. So that's kind of my current ghost take. For some instances, I think some of them are nonsense.
Yeah, absolutely. It creeped me out when you told me that before. And this idea of liminal spaces also, there's like I have this feeling a lot. I think when I'm like, it happens to me when like I'm out at night and like maybe it's hard to see a little bit. And you kind of wonder, like, it starts to feel a little bit like a dream and not quite. Like, I'm going to be thinking about this liminal space shit for a long time now and wondering if I cross over.
Really?
So thanks for that. Appreciate it. Tell me about your rating.
This is one that isn't a space, because it doesn't have to be a space, but one that kind of gives me the same feeling as liminal spaces is that transition from summer to fall. It's the only transition of months that do it to me, but there's this nostalgia. There is this like fleeting, like something is gone forever, that it makes me feel the same way that if I'm like looking at a picture of an abandoned hotel. Shit, the Shining's hotel feels very liminal. Most of that, like hotels in general are very liminal because like it is a transit place. Like So, hey, man, yeah, liminal spaces are spooky. So my rubric for this, open to feedback. The category of this is a new one, and it's unease. And so my 3 component parts to unease as a category. The first one is how my body responds. And so for liminal spaces, I gave this one a 5 because it's palpable. Like when I think about them or when I experience one, there is a body response. But relative to my next spooky item, it's not the same. So that one's kind of middle of the line. Mysticism, this one for me is a 9. It is confusing. It's a Bernstein Bears situation. It is Kazam played by Not Shaq, and I love it because it brings interesting things into a world that increasingly is more dumb and dumb as I live through it. And lastly is, can you relive this? And as I kind of said, this is one of the ones that lives rent free. And so whenever I want to feel a little bit creepy and like there's something wrong, I just think of them and it pops in and it affects me. And so of those 3 things, it gets a 6.
Yeah. That's interesting. I feel like I'm coming in a little hotter on it than you are. I think we should bump it up to a 7.14. Just because it's like it's a lot of brain fuckery for me, and I feel like I'm gonna be thinking about it a lot going forward.
Can we do 7.49? Which, because it feels like it's going to round, like it's transitioning. The score itself is transitioning.
We can absolutely do a 7.49.
Heck yeah.
We can do whatever we want. Honestly, this new system is kind of working out for me because we don't have to do ties, and it's 7.49 middle spaces. For notes, I'm going to put places that are here, but not here. Man, my brain done got fucked.
I got some podcasts for you if you have some time.
That I'm very interested in that. I mean, look, I don't have time, but I will find time for that.
Okay. I'm excited about John dies at the end too.
Yeah. Oh, dude, please read that book. It is one of my absolute all-time favorites. It's very good. Okay, so my second one, it's funny, it does kind of tie into liminal spaces a little bit. It feels in the same vein. So this is my recurring dream about what I call the line. And it's a quick one, but so the line, I have this dream, and I'll be somewhere, usually it's like a suburban neighborhood, like very like white picket fencey, and I will look up into the sky and like I'll feel kind of weird, and I'll see this big jagged black line with white edges cutting across the sky. And it feels like one of those weird images where you have to, how you have to tilt your head for things to align, and like there's like after images and then they come together and form a whole.
Okay.
It feels like that. So I tilt my head, it aligns, and I see the line. And then the second that line aligns, like I feel it in my body, and then I start seeing a bunch of creepy shit. So like you look at the line, you look down, suddenly it's not like it is the suburban neighborhood, but like everybody who has ever died in this neighborhood is there. So there are like decrepit grandmothers walking the streets. There are strange dead children talking backwards. And like one of the most recent times I had this dream, there was this white painted house that I was moving into. So I was moving into this neighborhood, and as I'm walking up, I see the line, and immediately I'm getting chills talking about this because it's very fresh. But like I look into, there's a little basement window, and I can see this like really dark shape with red eyes looking out at me. And for some reason I go inside anyway, and as I go inside, there's stairs that lead down to the basement, and there's this shadow man with black eyes that just comes out and like runs at me, like really loud stomping feet. And I try to run away, but then there are these children on the street that just scream at me, and their mouths drop open, and it's horrifying. And so when this happens, I wake up in a cold sweat, and I've thought about it a lot. And I think what happened here is that I processed some information about ley lines at some point in my life. Which, are you familiar with ley lines at all?
No.
So I'm gonna butcher it, but the way I perceive it is that there is this theory that there are spiritual lines that go around the world, and you'll see like holy sites and things that appear on these lines, sort of like the theory of the Great Circle, almost, where like all of the landmarks are on a big circle in the world, but it's lines. And then where these lines converge, you'll find places of great power, and the idea is that they're sort of spiritual highways where everything like all of the spiritual energy gets stronger the closer you are to a ley line, and if you're where two ley lines intersect, then it's even more powerful. So I think,
is there any connection to like energy vortexes and ley lines? Like, is it like
I would imagine so. Like those houses where they're like gravity works different here. I bet they would say that
or
that's
like
on a ley line.
apparently Orcas Island has a energy vortex. Sedona has an energy vortex. I'll go look it up.
So that's funny that you mentioned Orcas Island because
did you have a dream with a line there?
I know I felt like I was in a liminal space there though, because as a kid, okay, we're going long. As a kid, I went to summer camp at Orcas Island, and one night, and like teens who were our camp counselors, but they take the bus out in the middle of the night with all the kids, and they take us to this mausoleum that you have to hike through the woods to get to.
Fuck off! And your childhood is not real, man. This does not happen in regular schools. What did
I know, man?
Portland?
And like I checked, the mausoleum's there. It's very real, and I'm kind of wondering if that's where the energy vortex is supposed to be on Orcas Island. But like we ran into people in the dark who were not using flashlights, and like we're just walking through the woods by this mausoleum, and it was fucking terrifying.
Oh man!
But anyways. So like that happened, that for sure happened. I've been back. I've seen the mausoleum. Like it's there, and I've seen pictures of it, and I'm like, oh shit, that's the thing that comes up in my dreams. I remember that as a kid. It was terrifying.
So I felt when I went to Lopez Island, that whole place, the locals call
with the nuns.
What?
Is Lopez Island the one with the nuns, or is that a different island?
I don't know. The reason
Lopez Island, I think, is the one that used to be run by nuns.
Oh,
hold on.
It felt like a liminal space to me because it was primarily like 80-year-old lesbians living their best life, and they're on the way out.
It's Shaw Island, by the way. Shaw Island is the one that used to be run by nuns.
That's wild. You can't drive
on that one.
They
used to greet you at the dock.
What?
Like, there used to be nuns who ran the dock. Yeah. Franciscan nuns.
Okay, ley lines. We'll figure out if it's an Orcas.
So anyways, that's the stream I have. Do you have any questions before I tell you about like my rating?
I have I want to pause it. Did I use that right? I really like using that word. I want to pause it, an alternative to what's happening in your dream. I do have a question though. So I just read. I told you about this very famous top sci-fi book for a lot of people called Blindsight. And one of the things the author did was included vampires in this hard sci-fi book. And I read an interview about him, and he did it as an author asked him a dumb question about Twilight when he was doing something, and it really pissed him off. And so he's an old cranky white guy, but he essentially took it as a challenge to try to make what he thought the dumbest thing ever. So there's this species of quote unquote vampires, and it's a branch of humanity that was actually an alpha predator to us. And because they were so high above us on the food chain, they employed a predator prey convention, essentially being able to eat all the humans. They would die because they would eat all the humans. The wildest one is he came up with this thing called the crucifix glitch. And so this is how he was able to explain why crucifixes affect vampires. And it's actually because they have a defect in their brain, but it has a real thing that happens in our brain. But in theirs, when hard angles intersect, it essentially fries their brain. And so a crucifix is 4 hard angles. And so you're kind of doing the same thing where they're out, and then as soon as they line up, you're able to see things that you didn't before. Yeah. So it's kind of the reverse. And so it's actually a brain mechanism of like, normally you can't see it, but you have something weird with yours where when you have these intersecting lines and you can converge them, all of a sudden you can see things others can't.
Oof, weird.
Okay,
I'm glad that's not true in real life.
This is my real question. It's a kind of a wild premise. I haven't really seen media or any like a movie or read a book that's kind of like that. Is it possible this is going to happen?
That's part of my rating is I have thought about this a lot since I've had that dream. I've tried several times to make the line happen, and I kind of stall out on it because it's too spooky.
Yeah.
And I don't write horror really that much. Like I did a zombie novel, but it was kind of campy. And so like it's a really neat concept and I want to work on it, and I'll probably try again at some point. So my ratings, how bad is this dream? As far as bad dreams go, it's not the best, but it's not the worst. Cold sweat. I wake up sweaty and I fucking hate that. Has potential to become a very cool story, but I haven't been able to like actually action on that yet. I've written a few chapters, but
you haven't cracked that nut.
And then recurrence. This dream doesn't happen a lot. Like I've had it maybe 3 times, I think.
Over what period of time?
Like
10 years, 5 years?
No, like 3 years. Like
Okay.
I think it's like once a year.
Okay.
So 4 out of 10, some benefit, mostly just spooky.
Yeah, I like it. It feels unique. I'm not going to fight you on everyone to increase it. So if a 4 sounds good to you, I think
I'm going to give it a 4.20.
Okay. I want to think about, and we off pod, I've been thinking a lot about you using bastardizing, abusing the power of the coin.
Yep.
And so
and how that's going to come back to haunt me.
One way that we might be able
I'm just
to...
looking, we had dreams as life experiences before, so that's what this is going to be.
One way that you could make it right is, I feel like this is maybe a premonition of some sort. And so maybe flipping the coin not to see if it happens, but to be deterministic. And if it hits a head, this is going to happen in your life. This experience is going to be real. If it's tails, it was just a dream.
Ooh, that's interesting. We could really start like fucking with reality with this coins.
All right, I'll do this one quick. So I chose body horrors. And as I thought about body horror for me, I realized that there is a very specific type of body horror that I'll say resonates with me, but it terrifies me. So I'm going to give you, if you didn't read the notes, I'm going to give you the couple examples I have after the definition, and you try to guess maybe what is the underlying anxiety or fear that these specific body horrors give me.
Okay.
So body horror. Body horror, I don't think I've ever used that word before this podcast, before I told you. It is a subcategory of horror. It focuses on the grotesque, the disturbing, and often unnatural transformations or violations of the human body. Violations being a pretty good word for it. So these are the ones that live in my head rent-free. Did you read The Expanse or see the TV show?
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the end of the first book, the proto-molecule. So there's essentially this ship. It's a sci-fi book. There's a ship. There's a bunch of people on the ship. There is this alien molecule that we don't know what it does fully, and it was released onto this ship, and it essentially understands the molecules, understands the underlying workings, and is able to configure biology into new things. And so it turned these couple hundred people on this ship into the ship. And so when the people get to this ship, the walls are kind of writhing. The engine is a fusion of bones and flesh. And so it's both science and not science, and human and not human. And the thing, and I hadn't realized this until I went back, and I had forgotten this part of the book, but the ship is, while they're investigating it, it's talking kind of gibberish nonsense. It's talking about these races and these things. And they actually connect it to the first person that they found dead from the protomolecule. You have this amalgamation of flesh and gross, and you have consciousnesses in it from the people that it's absorbed. And that's the thing for me that really felt awful. But the idea that you have human consciousnesses stuck in it without free will, that's one that just makes me feel icky at levels that very few things do. I'm going to give you 2 more. The first one, tell me if you agree with me, because I consider it soft body horror, and that is Swiss Army Man. Do you want to tell the audience what happens in the movie Swiss Army Man, featuring Daniel Radcliffe post Harry Potter?
Yeah, so it's Paul Dano and Daniel Radcliffe, like one of Daniel Radcliffe's first movies after the Harry Potter movies. And Paul Dano is stranded on a desert island and befriends a corpse that comes back to life-ish, but is like very clearly still a corpse throughout the film. I believe at one point he uses him as a jet ski by using his farts as propulsion.
Weird. Yeah, so this guy gets stuck on an island, and a dead body shows up or is there, which is just like this businessman. And it's not really sentient. It can kind of make some words and some noises. And the Swiss Army knife is the body. And so this person who's stuck on the island is able to use the body in a number of different ways. I'm guessing starting fires. He tries to escape it across the ocean on a farting jet ski. I cannot bring myself to watch this movie. I've been told it is the most WTF wholesome movie you can see, but there is something, I don't know the word for it, existential, awful about the idea of using a dead body like there's something that hits me in a way that I'm not into it and I cannot do it. And then the last one I think is, I don't want to give it away. It's kind of in that vein. Have you seen Tusk?
No, but it's funny. Tusk is also A24.
If you
A24 loves body horror.
Can you stop glazing A24? They're not even a sponsor.
Love them, man.
Okay.
Hey, look, they were the ones who during the actor strike, when people were like, these are our demands, they were like, yeah, that's fine.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And then they just kept making movies. A24 fucking rules. But anyways, yes, Tusk. I know of Tusk. I have not seen it.
Yeah, so Justin Long, I forget exactly the scenarios, but he gets in the company of an old weirdo who turns out to be fascinated with the idea that he can turn a man mentally and physically into a walrus, and he does. So he breaks Justin Long's mind down and then stitches skin around him and gives him big walrus tusks. And we'll put a picture up for the pod. It is fucking horrible. In the last scene of the movie, spoilers alert, double spoilers. It's a movie pod. He killed Justin Long, the walrus, is forced to fight the guy who made him a walrus while wearing a walrus suit. So the guy puts on a walrus suit and then makes Justin Long fight him as a walrus. And so I'll leave you with that. And now I want you to guess what conclusion maybe I came to of the body horrors and why I might be afraid of them.
Interesting. I feel like there's a part of you that might feel like this could actually happen to you at some point. Or if you see things on yourself that you're not quite sure of, you're like, is this the start of body horror happening?
Fuck, don't say that. Maybe this was a bad question because that is definitely not it. I didn't think about it, and now it might be.
Okay, yeah. What was your connection?
I realized I am terrified of my consciousness being stuck in a prison of some sort, and especially if that prison is grotesque, of which old bodies are. And so I think I'm afraid of dying. I'm afraid of dying while having my mental facilities, but not my physical ones. And so it's probably just why I'm terrified of getting ALS, because that's essentially what's happening in these movies. Yeah, I think that was my takeaway, is that body horror, the ones that are afraid to me are the most existential, because it's a mix of some sort of physical, grotesque prison and then still having your brain. If my brain's gone, I could not care. Like, roll me up into a flesh caterpillar and transform me into a ugly butterfly and let me go around. But like, if I can think, that feels awful to me.
That's interesting. So, okay, my question that I'm thinking of right now, if you are going to be body horrored into like another creature, is there one that's acceptable?
A singular creature?
Yeah, like let's say they're going to body horror you into a crab or something like that. Is there a creature that you get turned into that you don't just immediately say, nope, kill yourself?
I don't know. Did you watch Community, right?
Yeah.
There's a Halloween episode as a bit that Pierce, played by, who was that?
Chevy Chase.
He sews together Troy and Abed. That scene freaks me out, man. Like, I know it's a joke. That one makes me feel weird inside. And so I don't know if there is one. So the rules are singular creature. There is something awful happening to me. Like, this isn't I wake up and I'm a crab. There is a surgery. There is a transformation.
You go through the transformation of becoming whatever this is. Let's say it's slow. Let's say it takes a couple of weeks.
God, Jesus Christ. I hate this.
You gotta like wipe your face one morning and your fingers half claw.
Oh, I did give you a clue about which old god I was, and it was one big claw, one little claw.
Yeah.
It'd be a crab, not a lobster. So they are, everything converges on crab. Crab is the perfect biological specimen. So, yeah, man, make me a crab. I hate it. I don't want to happen, but that's the one I choose.
Yeah, weirdly, crabs being the perfect biological specimen was the inspiration behind the first ambassador to Crustacea.
Wait,
which is all about a planet of sentient crabs.
Is that the novella prior to the
novella prequel to One Night at Cadassi?
Whoa.
Available at any retailer right now.
Wait,
you can buy this on Amazon. You can buy it on Bookshop.
Not the new one, though.
You could email me. No, the new one's available on Amazon and Bookshop, too. It's just pre-order. But yeah. Anyways, that was the carcinization, which is the theory that everything converges to crabs, was the inspiration behind that story.
That's rad. Look at you.
Yeah. Shout out to Lauren, our listener, who, him and his wife, they asked me to give a TED talk on it, and that's what inspired that book. But give me your rating.
Yeah, man.
On this body horror.
Yeah, so I'm sticking with unease. Again, a body response. 9. I can feel it. It tingles just thinking about it. It feels fucking awful. Mysticism, I put this one in the middle because it really depends on what kind of body horror we're talking about. And usually it's more human grossness, like the underbelly of human society and thinking. So there's not a lot of mysticism to it. In fact, it probably turns the other way to me, which is just like this is usually it happens, body horror happens because humanity sucks, like in Tusk. Maybe not so much in The Expanse. Reliving this, this is another one I can just think about Tusk and I will feel weird for 3 hours. And so I'm gonna give it a 6.
Yeah, I like it. A 6 sounds right. I don't want to experience it. It is gonna stick with me. I don't. Man, this is things that are spooky was the wrong thing. What would you call this category?
Unease.
Oh, it's also an unease. I like this. You're bringing new categories. So,
do you want to see Tusk real quick?
Don't tusk me, bro. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, sounds good. I'm in.
Brad. All right, bud.
Nice.
That's a pod.
It's your turn to pick category for next week.
Oh, okay. Preliminary things that are saucy.
Things that are saucy. I fucking love that. That's good.
Or can be sauced.
Things that are saucy or can be sauced will be next week's pod. That's good. I'm gonna slap something up on this pod next week.
Did you see that IKEA just released a decorative meatball holder for your table, and it perfectly holds 12 meatballs?
No, I didn't. That's fucking ridiculous.
All right, man. Love you. That was fun.
Love you too.
Bye.